Welcome to First Wing, a Fourth Wing podcast.
I'm Brianna, and this is the start of my Iron Flame journey.
And I'm Kendra, an experienced dragon rider, here to help the second year. Just a quick note, this book contains explicit content, including swearing, sex, violence, and death, and so will this podcast. This episode does contain sex, basically, or like reference to sex. They almost got their sexy time on.
Yeah.
Interrupted again. Anyways, and also most definitely violence.
Most definitely. We are
in a war here.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, great. Today we're discussing chapters 60 and 61. Last episode ended when Jack killed his dragon to take down the Navarre wards.
And the wards have fallen.
And the stone broke, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I have questions about that when they start talking about, like, mending it. What do you do with the broken? Anyways, but yeah, it does mention, right, that it, like, fell.
Yeah. It like, tipped over because the dragon, like, went up, like, to it.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, so this is, like, an intense couple of chapters.
Yeah, and we do learn a lot more about Jack. So
oh, my goodness.
Let's get into it.
So much. At the top, the blurb, it says, at its core, magic demands balance. Whatever you take will be recouped, and it is not the wielder who determines the price. And this is by some colonel we've never heard of, Emazine Ruthhorn. It's called Magic, a Universal Study for Writers.
Yeah, which sounds like a really interesting book.
Yeah. And we've heard this balance thing before.
Andarna was the one who mentioned it, and we were just talking about this last episode. And it also, this seems very Venom coded. Like, to me, it seems like that's what's being referenced here.
Right, because you're stealing from whatever. You're taking the magic without the normal line. I mean, I don't know who makes the rules on this, but you
can tell from the result of it turning to gray and like you're destroying the land.
You are. I mean, you're not just
price is like your soul, basically, right?
That's a good point, because when they use the magic through dragons or griffins, the land isn't being affected. It's like
like giving it. The way that they're doing it seems to make the magic in the land thrive, not deplete.
Yeah. So I guess what's the balance here? Is it that their eyes turn red and they have distended veins? I mean, because that's...
No, I think that you lose your soul.
Oh, you lose your soul, yeah.
Yeah. And
okay,
also
fine.
You look weird.
And you look weird. I was more worried about looking weird.
Yeah.
No,
also, it is talked about it more in this chapter about, like, they think Jack will just die because his dragon's dead, and he is saying that he's, like, replenishing his whatever would be missing from the dragon through channeling as a venom. So that's also kind of what it's referencing here too. But I still think it's like just mentioning venom here.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a more, what do you call it? There's more authority in the explanation here as opposed to just something Andarna said, you know? Yeah. Okay, good. So, so we've just lost the wards here, and it's lying in two pieces is where it says it on the ground, and there's no flame, so it's not.
Yeah, and I was like, it's definitely going to be hard to restart it. Like, even if they had all the dragons, now the wardstone's broken.
It sounds like it's really big, right? I mean, like, they can't see the dragon behind it. That's how big it is. Remember earlier when they're going around, like...
I always imagined it smaller than... but you're right.
Right, like, the dragon is hiding behind it at one point.
That has to be huge.
So how does this thing fall in two pieces? Anyways, okay.
Well, that's fine. The dragon pushed it over.
Yeah, so maybe it's like one, I don't know.
I think it's tall. Like, is it taller
like the top
than it
half
is
has
wide?
Over.
So it's like probably easy to tip.
I don't know if it's taller than it's wide. It's really, it would be great to get some measurements. We just got an idea, but that's fine.
I always imagine that the Warstones look like the Lincoln Monument. Like that shape. In my head, it is like square and tall and pointed at the top.
Yeah.
Yes, genuinely, that's always what I imagined.
That makes sense.
But what if it's just like a normal rock?
I don't know. I think it's described in different places, and as we, come across some more, we can look. But yeah, I don't know how important that is.
No, not really.
Violet notices Jack, like, stumbling because she had just hit him with a dagger in the last chapter, but he's, like, elated, And she's thinking and says to Xaden, like, he's only got minutes. Like, he's gonna die.
I know, and I kind of didn't even think about that as a factor here, as I also just assumed he wouldn't die.
Right.
But I was like, oh yeah, he should be dying.
Right, because that would be your normal thing. Do they know? They don't know. Hey, you knew he was a venom because you picked up on the signs. Okay, they don't know yet. Yeah, so she's thinking this is crazy. I mean, I don't know where even he got the information that if my dragon bleeds all this wardstone, it's going to drop. But hey, There somehow, somewhere,
think
someone
he was,
had that
like,
information.
Maybe the dragons do technically know that, but like they would never willingly give that information. But
Maybe he's got venom data and somehow they know that, but then I don't know how. Like, or
I mean, I guess if anyone
leadership.
I was gonna say, if
might know
anyone
something.
can be a Venin, like if we imagine that Varish could have also been a Venin,
Right.
what information did he have access to?
Yeah. Yeah, it could be anything really at this point.
Yeah.
But she's just shocked that he killed his own dragon. Xaden points out to Jack, you're gonna die now. And Jack's like, that's the thing, I'm not. They have us thinking we're the inferior species, but did you see how easily I controlled her? How easily the energy she bonded us with is replaced? And that's when his hand's like on the stone.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was thinking, like, is it the white in her eyes that was supposed to be that indicator of, like, she's so easy to control or whatever?
It kind of gives me the idea of, like, in a cartoon when someone's, like, being hypnotized or something, and they're whatever. Like, that's the picture I got from that white, milky eye, she was...
It's not good.
Yeah.
And I also I wondered if Varish, because we know, like, I'm still thinking that I don't know, it's kind of confusing when we learn what Nolan was doing.
Yeah.
But whatever, like, at this moment, I was still thinking Varish was, like, Jack's recruit, basically, into the Venin. And I was wondering if he also did something to be able to control his dragon sometimes, because we got that hint of him being able to control his dragon, too.
Yeah.
So.
I, just do not know about Varish, but at the same time...
Because he's dead now.
He's dead. And we know he was killed with an alloy hilted dagger. And
yes.
No matter what I've heard people maybe say about this when I argue it, I still think he was Venin. I'm just
it is confusing.
That point was made so clear that it was an alloy hilted dagger.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We'll get to the conversation with Nolan here
soon,
and then
look at that.
See how we feel then.
Yeah. So Nolan, speaking of, storms in and yells, "Jack, don't do this. You're better than this. You can choose." Sorry. I crack up whenever I see Nolan like trying, like he does things for the good of Navarre. Like he's a good person in his core, and he thought whatever he was doing was the right thing, and he's basically seeing here that he's created a monster, basically. He's allowed a monster to go out that's now just taken the defenses down, and Nolan still can't see the problem.
No. Yeah, it's a lot.
He's like being a coach. You're better than this.
Yeah, what are you doing? I think he just chose. I think it's pretty clear. He just murdered a dragon. Anyways, I was just like, is he in on this? Like, have they all been experimenting with the Venin power? But like, well, we're not doing it for evil. It's just sometimes like when we need a power boost. I was just like trying to figure out what was going on with the whole Nolan thing.
Do we find out more about Nolan here? Or is that it?
Yes, a little bit. No, we're getting more.
Okay, because then I want to talk about it.
I was like, did we ever mention anything about Nolan's eyes? Like, oh, he was so exhausted. They were like red ring. But then I was like, no, I don't think so. But I don't remember.
I mean, he was definitely exhausted a lot. But I don't recall if they said anything about him. Yeah.
I just didn't know because like him obviously seeming like he's not really that mad at Jack. I was like, is he weirdly in on this? Like, to some degree in on this?
Yeah, and sometimes I think, like, am I wrong? Is he not innately good? But I don't know. Like, to me, I feel like there is goodness in him that's just been, I don't know. It's hard. He's a hard one for me to I can go both ways with him.
Yeah, I think he's just a great example of, like, things aren't black and white. Like, he can care about Violet to an extent, and, like, that can make him good in the eyes of our main character. Like, he cared about me, and he helped me. But, like, it's also, like, that was his job.
Yeah, and she was a general's daughter.
Daughter. Like, what does he have ambitions of his own? Like,
I never get the idea that... I get the idea that he's very strongly loyal to Navarre, and Navarre is put first and foremost in his mind.
Yeah.
I don't get the idea, like, here, that he is in any way, like, with the Venin. I never got that idea, but...
No, I didn't.
We could be surprised.
As I read more, I didn't either, but when he first walked in, I just was like, I know nothing.
What the hell? Yeah. Yeah, Xaden basically reads his intentions at this point. He says to Violet that he did actually expect, Nolan was expecting something like this could happen, but he wants to mend Jack. He's been trying to mend him since May. And then he mentions he's too weak to shield his intentions right now because he was knocked over during the whole thing. I can't remember.
Nolan was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, so Nolan knew. He told no one, or maybe all of leadership knew.
Well, I mean, Varish was in on this.
Varish was. But I still think Varish might
just be a wild card. Oh, and a Venin, yeah.
I don't know.
Possibly.
I don't know. But anyways.
Yeah, so she still doesn't know what's happening.
But the whole heal a soul was absolutely what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Like that line, do you know how hard it is to heal a soul or whatever? That was the exact thing I thought it was, which was trying to like heal a venin into not being a venin.
But then you changed your mind when it was Jack.
Well, because I didn't think Jack was a venin.
You didn't put the 2 and 2 together.
I know.
I mean, who else is going to turn out to be a venin but Jack?
Well, in my defense, I didn't think it was possible to be venin behind the wards.
Yes, and that is the key thing.
Yes.
And I realized that when you were talking about things earlier, I was like, oh yeah, you have this data that you can't. And then we talk about it a little bit later here.
Yeah.
And we'll
so
discuss
it's like,
it then.
How would I wouldn't
like, how would that be possible?
Jack.
How could a venin be there?
Like, of course, I feel like he could be one, but I feel like he would have to leave.
In order to,
Yeah.
Yeah, so she still doesn't know. Right here, she's saying mend what? The injuries from the fall. And then Xaden, still reading the intentions around here, says Jack's turned venin. Somehow he managed it within the wards. So we find out from Jack here that the second he saw her Violet bond the most powerful dragon available at threshing, that's basically when he turns.
Right, which means it couldn't really be Varsh, like, recruiting him, because he wasn't there.
Oh, that's true.
That was last year.
That's true.
So at least that can't be possible. That doesn't mean that Varsh has never dabbled.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know.
We really don't know, and I don't know if we'll ever find out.
Yeah.
So it might be just something that fans argue about forever.
But also, how did he survive the mountain getting, like...
He was venin by then.
That's why, right? That's the reason why he survived the mountain.
So he could have, so he just started sucking all the power out of the rocks around him immediately and healed himself,
Yeah. Like, I do feel bad for Bade to an extent, but, like, how do you even bond this person? Like, aren't they
Bade
supposed to be...
was a weak dragon, remember?
Yeah, but aren't they supposed to be better than this, the dragons?
Well, there's a lot about the dragons we don't know.
Yeah.
And that's...
I guess they're just as complex as the humans in that way.
Yeah, well, even despite the fact that Terran wasn't maybe the best of friends with Bade, he's actually upset here to see a dead dragon. He shows up.
Yeah, of course.
And he's...
You should never... A dragon killed by a human is never something you want to see.
Especially his own writer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's thinking like, oh, he is a venin. And then she's like, God, I threw the wrong dagger.
I know.
She had thrown... Although we needed more information, so he had to stay alive. So Nolan says, again, we get another, this magic requires balance. It does not give without a price. That's what Nolan's arguing with Jack. And Jack's like, does it? Do you understand how much power is beneath your feet? So he is currently, right now, sucking the magic out of the stones.
Yes, the area around the ward stone.
Yeah. And so Xaden has to do this thing where he basically picks him up off the ground.
Holds him away
and holds him away. Well, he holds him away from the ground. At some point we find out that he actually can reach. So I guess there's not a lot of space in between this humongous ward stone and the walls because he can reach.
Yeah, because you think Xaden, if he could have, would have made it pretty obvious that he's away from everything.
Yeah. Xaden asks, when did you turn? And then Jack's like, wouldn't you like to know? And Xaden's like, come on, you're going to tell me I have nothing to lose by killing you. When? Earn yourself a little goodwill. Then Violet says, before his challenge against me, he forced power into my body. I just didn't recognize it for what it was. I still don't understand that. Is this something Venin can do that somehow she knows?
I literally said, like, do we know that this is a Venin power? Like,
right.
At what point did we know that this was a Venin power? That was weird.
I still think it's weird. I did think when it was happening that this had something to do with him being a Venin, and you obviously didn't know that, so you wouldn't have thought that. But I was still wondering how, like, if you can suck magic out. But he wasn't just pushing it in her. She wasn't feeling good about this. Like, if like if a siphon or something is giving you power, you just have more power. That wasn't what was happening to her.
It was like it was like more like energy being forced into her. She was just like vibrating.
Yeah.
With it.
So I don't know.
Explode.
Somehow that's something that Venin can do that is...
Maybe it's in the fables that we haven't read.
Yeah.
That's why Violet knows.
Maybe.
Like, it just seems so odd.
And then she's like, how? The wards... ... right? And Jack says this. Okay, so this whole paragraph has so much in it. Do not block all power like the dragons want you to think they do. They do not block all power like the dragons want you to think they do. So he is indicating that it's the dragons that have communicated that, all power is now. This is not humankind. Does it make us
think it's possible for the Griffins potential, or for the Griffins and the Flyers to maybe wield some power on the other side?
I don't know. But also, I just wonder about the word dragon in that particular sentence. Like, meaning like...
Well, the dragons want them to... it's like a symbiotic relationship between the humans and the dragons at this point. So it would make sense for the dragons to want to not have them wander off to find other power. They want to bond. Yeah,
but why would they have kept secret this whole time that Venins could actually wield inside?
I think that they don't trust the humans, like, right? Like, wasn't there a passage at one point that was like, we don't the dragons and the humans, like, we have to work together, but we don't really trust. There's not full trust on each side.
Yeah.
And I feel like if it was made widely known, they were probably worried that more humans would do it.
Yeah. I'm
Or
just
at
going
least
to
if
throw
it's a
out,
secret,
like,
less
if
of them
there's...
would do it.
Yeah. If there are more venom writers out there, their dragons know they're venom. If that's the case, it's just weird.
This is very weird.
It leaves you just going like, okay, where are the dragons standing on this whole thing?
Yeah.
But again, we also know that the dragons have different opinions within their own Empyrean, so I'm not really sure. But that was just, to me, that was fascinating.
It really is.
Yeah. And then he says, Jack, we can still feed from the ground, still channel enough to survive. So it sounds like they can't channel too much, just enough to survive.
Yes.
So he can take power little bits here and there, but he's not going to do one of those things where that one venom that dropped down the ground and like literally just scorched the hole and killed all those people. Yeah. Enough to fool them. Them being...
The dragons.
The dragons?
That's what I think.
Okay.
Like, maybe Bay didn't know until it was too late.
Yeah, see, I don't know. Enough to fool them. He's not saying enough to fool you. He's saying them, so it's got to be dragons.
Right.
So, okay, good. I'm going to leave that. I feel like there's something in that. We might not be at full strength, so this is the venom, capable of wielding greater magic under your protection. So greater magic is being mentioned here.
I know, like they could
as opposed to lesser magic.
Yeah, as if they have levels, as if they have something almost like signets.
Yep.
Or something like that.
I mean, that's totally what he's indicating here, right? So they
like
can't...
Like Liam wielded ice.
Right.
Sorry. He's not a venom. I don't think Liam's a venom, but like, maybe he just did it just that one time.
Yeah. Or what's the option for having a second signet?
Yeah. He could have the bonding
been an ancestor thing, yeah. Okay, capable of wielding greater magic under your protections. And it's like, kind of like quote unquote, whatever. Yeah. But make no mistake, we are already among you. Yeah, and now we're free.
I hate that he's talking in like the we. Like, I don't like that at all.
This
like,
is a
way of all talking with each other.
Oh, that's a question.
Like, how? I don't even.
Right.
How does he know?
See, he
to do any of this?
Knew to put out lures.
Yes.
Right, which we're going to get to. He knew exactly how to kill this wardstone. Yeah. Kill it, whatever, you know. Someone's communicating to this guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how? Like, is it just not? Is he just getting like letters, or like, is there some weird like mind link between them when you start doing this? Like, I don't know.
Right. No. Exactly. Okay.
Or is it runes? It could be runestones, I guess, if you could do something cool with them, like
but
make
it
them
does
walkie-talkies.
Say we are already among you, so that leaves you with we, meaning
there's more there.
Yeah, so who knows where that all goes?
Yep.
Okay. And then he gestures between Xaden and Violet. So it's not just one, it's both. And he says, I'll never know why it's you he wants. What the fuck makes you so special?
Yeah. I mean, this is a guy from his dream, from Violet's dreams.
That's what I would assume.
Yeah.
Because they keep talking about like turning
even the guy from the dreams doesn't seem like the main guy. Like, there's probably someone even bigger and badder behind him that also wants her, like the king of the venom.
There's like a general, right? Don't they say something about there's generals that they've never even
So I'm sure there's a bigger bad who also wants Violet, but I just but it's like, how does Jack know this? Like, how are they all talking to each other? How do they all know these things?
Yeah, whoever maybe. Yeah, what is going on?
Yes.
Taryn says this changes everything, which it does, but I'm not sure which one of those 25 things that we just got given to us changes everything. But
all of it, I think, maybe. It makes it sound like Taryn doesn't know that they even could be.
Well, the question is dragons, is it some leadership that's corrupt?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, is it the same thing all over again, where there's like 4 dragons, like Coda and whoever? I just imagine it's Coda because he sucks. Like, they're just like all conspiring to not let all the other dragons know because they think that they're making the right decision. Like, is it just that?
I don't know. It's just the same, like a mirror image of the.
Yeah.
You know,
they think they're so much better.
I don't know, but it doesn't sound like Taryn knows this.
No,
and
it doesn't.
I mean, I love Taryn too much. I can't believe he would. So.
No, he would always tell Violet everything.
Yeah. Come on. Mm-hmm. Jack says you have no idea what's coming for you. And then he says they're faster than you think they are. He's coming with a horde of greens.
And then again, it's like this is an emphasized he.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, is he the one from the dreams? Or is he another he? Yeah. I don't know. Also, the greens, I was like, okay, probably a worse type of wyvern.
Well, see, I still can't figure that out even after reading the rest of these chapters because green and blue, right, is talking about the fire.
The fire. They're still gray.
I didn't notice like, oh, because it was a green fire, this was worse than the blue fire. But maybe they're faster.
There must be something about them that's more powerful. Maybe the fire's hotter. Wait, hold on. The blue fire can or cannot hurt the dragons.
Well, okay, we come across somewhere here where she's like, oh, that's not green, that's blue fire later, you know?
Yes.
And it doesn't, I don't know if it clarifies.
I just remember, like, in the fight in Reston,
Mm-hmm.
were we worried about the dragons being burned by the blue fire? Or no? Because I felt like that the dragons were still like, we're fireproof, we're fine.
Yeah.
But maybe the green fire can even hurt the dragons.
Maybe. But I feel like if that was the case, we would have some clarification in this chapter full of fighting.
A dragon dodges the green fire in this fighting. I think I highlighted a dragon dodging.
We'll get to it. We'll see.
Because I was like, why would they dodge fire? Aren't they fireproof?
Yeah, interesting. Okay, good. We'll look for that. Okay, so Xaden says it might take him a minute to read the map, and you'll be long gone before they arrive. But Violet tells him in her mind we have to keep him alive for questioning.
No, I mean yes, but no. I mean,
well, for at least for what's gonna happen.
I know, but then they take him away after that alive still.
You know. That made me so mad. That made me so mad. I'm like no, he could be dead right now. It's okay.
Kill him.
Yeah. Anyways, so Nolan is like creeping behind, and looks like he's gonna try to use the serum on him, right? Yeah. And this is when Violet realizes, oh, the serum. He must be why they developed the signet blocking serum.
Maybe that is true, but I think the Navarre they are happy to use it.
Also, they had to have been working on that for a while. Couldn't have just come out of Jack's death.
Yeah. Anyways, I just don't really believe that that's the only reason that like the whole thing was created just for Jack, but then why would they start using it on the cadets?
Right.
For what reason would you start using it on the cadets?
Yeah.
They said to like make it harder. It's hard enough.
Yeah. No, it sounds like a power move.
Yeah.
Jack says this, while you were busy smuggling weapons out, we were busy smuggling them in. Is he talking about the lures?
Or other venom.
Other venom. Because this is in connection to I have showed him the way. So it might be the lures. Well, this is where Jack starts now like sucking more stuff out of the wall, basically. He reaches the wall and like color's leaching from the stone. And then Zane's about to like take him out, and Dane's like, not yet. And he runs over and puts his hands on his face because he wants to find out what's going on, right?
Yes. Which is very brave of Dane.
Especially because while he's doing this, Jack starts draining him.
Well, it says 1, 2, 3. I start to count heartbeats as the desiccation expands. So he's still sucking from the wall. But then on the 4th beat, Jack grasps Dane's forearm. So yeah. So he got 4 heartbeats before he started draining from...
That's true. And at first, Dane is just trembling. And then it's only when he screams that Xaden actually does something about it. But that's not because Xaden doesn't like Dane. It's because he knows that Dane is putting his life at risk right now to find out what he can.
Yeah, I agree. It didn't seem malicious in any way by Xaden.
Possibly we could have thrown some shadows, handcuffs around Jack's hands and put them behind his back.
The shadows seem very versatile until the plot needs them to be, and then they can do one thing or maybe 2 things.
So Dane's got some handprints on him now, and you know what? The chicks are gonna dig it.
Yeah, battle scars.
I mean, yeah. The stories he can tell. Anyways, she's worried about him. She asks if he's all right, Dane, not Jack, because we don't care about Jack. And then Dane's like, I think so. Hurts like a fucking ice burn.
Yeah.
But Xaden then looks at Nolan, like, because he knocked out. Jack's knocked out now, right? And he says, I'm assuming you know what to do with him since you've been doing it since May. And then Nolan nods, pours a vial of serum into his mouth, and I guess takes off from there.
Yeah. Xaden leans down and cuts away Jack's first wing patch.
Oh yeah, he's like, you're not a fucking...
I mean, you don't have a dragon anymore. You're literally not.
Literally not.
Not only are we kicking you out, but you also genuinely have no dragon left.
Gotta love his priorities.
I know. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah.
And then
I would have stripped him of his flight leathers.
Nolan just takes him out.
So let's talk about Nolan for a second. Okay, so now that we know that he was mending a venom,
trying to heal his soul,
Jack had to have been in such... Okay, hold on. 2 things. He was probably in pretty bad shape, even though his venom powers sort of
kept him
alive.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can
who went to
right.
Find
Someone
him?
finds him still alive and obviously a venom. And then they report to leadership. This is all question marks, right? Yeah. And then they're like, let's see what we can do with this guy.
I mean, it's not like a terrible idea to see if it's possible to like turn a venom into not a venom anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
But
they have a
why
venom
would
to experiment
you
with.
Put him back into... Why would you put him back into...
Was
they
he
think they did
taking
it?
the serum consistently, do you think? Was he like taking it? Was that like part of the agreement? Like, I can be part of everything as long as I take my serum regularly, and that's why we never see him wield?
That's true. We don't know what his signet is.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I was just like, what idiot puts him back in the...
Well, this idiot, obviously. So remember how you were like, why is there an air wielder with Nolan? Do you know, I mean, this is never explained. I just have a guess.
Like to suck the air out of his lungs if he got too bad?
I figure it to hold him up, buffeting him from the sides so that he couldn't touch anything.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like a defense, like to keep Nolan safe. Whatever the air wielder could do.
In my head, that's what the air wielder's doing whenever they're working on them. And otherwise, he's just knocked out unconscious.
Yeah.
But if anybody out there, readers, would like to tell us what they think, because maybe there's something I'm missing, you can always put it in our Discord, by the way, because we do have a Discord and it is in the, what's it called?
Description. Of the episode.
And it's fun. You should join us. Anyways. But yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. I mean, that's what I always thought of every time I did a reread.
Yeah.
Because he can be awake and they can talk to him and he can't touch anything.
And so then Varsh's specific power to be able to help Nolan out is what? Finding what Jack...
He's an interrogator.
I know, but like...
Oh, finding his weakness.
Finding his like mental weaknesses to like threaten him into cooperating, I wonder? Like, oh, he cares about his sister or whatever. Like, what was... Because remember, he went... I mean, he was also just trying to get Varsh away so that Violet could escape. But he says this line to him about like, I'm not really making much progress, but maybe like your specific set of skills could help me.
Yeah.
And we think, well, why would a torturer be able to help someone, a healer? And then that's when I made my guess of what Varsh's power is.
Yeah.
But looking back, I wonder, was Nolan just bullshitting fully, or what could Varsh
I think
help?
that Varsh would have picked up if it didn't make any sense what he said. So it must have been a true sentence, whatever that is. It's just weird. I do think if anybody had decided, hey, let's try to heal a Venin and keep him among the cadets, it would be Varsh.
Yeah.
So it's obviously he's the one ordering this. And
who else knows? I cannot imagine that
who's
General
right above Varsh
Thorngale would be okay with this.
Right? I don't think she is.
She would be like, no, we have a Venin who also is actively trying to kill my daughter in the quadrant. What are you talking about?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's the other thing, too, is that when Jack is doing that challenge with her and he pushes whatever, she doesn't have any hand marks on her.
Yeah, it's true. But it's like a different power. It's like a pushing, not a pulling.
So somehow it doesn't do the same thing.
Why did Jack save her up on the tower? Is it because the Venin want Violet? He might not understand it, but he was following
did say
orders.
he didn't know who he was saving when he was saving, but
then it was just the two of them alone up there. But, I mean, I guess if he was still having his signet blocker medicine, she would beat him in like
but not with the point where she's hanging by her fingertips and he...
No, but if he really didn't know who it was, just saved someone, and then once they're up there talking...
Yeah, but no, he pulls her up after he realizes she's Violet. Yeah. So he did 100% save her knowing she was Violet. Maybe not in the very beginning.
Or was this like him trying to gain more trust
think you're right.
with his captors?
Yeah. Yeah, that could be that. And also it could be the fact that they do want her.
Yeah, he might not understand it, but he's not going to disobey like a direct order.
Yeah, that would be a direct disobeying, obviously, because he had a chance just to pull her up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So many questions.
Yeah, I feel like when I found out he was a Venin, I was like, so why did he save her? It must be because of someone telling him to. Like, it just doesn't make sense otherwise.
I know. Okay, so just to wrap up this scene, Dane is trying to find out from Nolan how many writers we have, because... I mean, now that the wards are down, they know shit's happening.
Yes.
And her mother looks like she's come to at this point, because I think she was knocked out. And she says 119 cadets, 10 leadership. The rest have all been sent to Midland Posts and Samara, plus the ones you brought. And then Dane says, I saw his memories. It's not enough. And Mira says, well, it has to be. And then Dane says to General Sorrengail, gather everyone. They're faster than dragons. They being the wyvern. We have 10 hours, maybe less, then we're all dead.
Which honestly was more time than I was expecting. I thought we had an hour.
Yeah.
So,
they have enough time to...
almost have sex. No, they had sex once.
Yeah. And then slept somewhat. And then almost,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know. So now we're in battle brief. Everyone's there. And it's very obvious who chose to fight for Peromiel and those who stayed behind to defend Navarre, because there's like an obvious divide between them.
I would not say they chose to fight for... I mean, I guess they did, but they chose to fight for the whole continent.
Yeah, I know that. I don't agree with that statement either, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're not abandoning
Navarre. I mean, Brennan. But they're not anti-Navarre, most of them. They're just anti, let's let innocents die
Yeah. True. So, everyone's full of nervous energy here. It's like that feeling that she had, like, when they decided to fight for Reston. They just know, people are not going to make it.
And a lot of us are going to die.
Yeah, exactly. She's thinking that they've already lost because of the ward stone. They just still happen to be breathing, which is quite a way to go into battle.
Yeah, well, is it hard? I feel it would be so hard not to feel hopeless after hearing Dane
say what he said, yeah.
There, where you don't have enough.
Yeah. Melgren is coming, but they're going to arrive after the approaching horde does, so they won't have an immediate relief. But it's nice to know they are arriving.
Yeah, but no, not just that. We also know
there's a second wave of wyvern as well.
Yes, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. It's scary. It's overwhelming. She's feeling like, man, we're only gonna have hours left. Zeta 9, she's like looking at him and then he winks at her. She's like, he winks at me like we're not facing certain annihilation. Like we've transported ourselves back to last year and this is just another battle brief.
Yeah. He's just trying to keep her spirits up, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's cute. So Nolan had mended them after, that whole thing in the Wardstone, but there's a mention that he couldn't amend Dane's skin, which would pretty much make sense to me. It says he might have been exhausted, but I think you just can't mend it. Yeah. I think whatever the venen's done is just done there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, that's just a guess. We have this here where Devara starts the briefing and says there's like thousands of wyvern heading that way. And it says the good news, they didn't even bother stopping at Samara, which means casualties are low. The bad news, they don't seem to be stopping anywhere, which means we won't get a delay.
Yeah. So I'm just confused how Melgren saw a battle happening at Samara that they lost when the battle just isn't happening at Samara. Was there a sudden change? Like, was it not certain that Jack could take down the wards and that was like a big uncertainty?
Yeah, and maybe once the wards went down, maybe those lures now could send the signal because there was no wards. These wards are not just the wards of Basgiath.
It just doesn't make sense how he saw this battle.
Either that. The one option is it changed because Jack managed to get down. Because if you have one person trying to get down the wards, anything could have happened.
But the thing is we know that the wyvern and the venom were waiting, just sitting and waiting, and we knew per Melgren the battle was going to happen on the solstice, and that's. Yeah. The Wardstone got taken out on the solstice, so I don't know.
Option number 2, Melgren is really
Melgren's a venom. Lose? Does that mean he saw them all dying, or lose like a win or lose battle? We lost. They lost because the venom and wyvern got past them and went away, even if casualties are low. Like, what if he gets?
Yeah, we don't know. We do not know what what if he got these flashes of himself at Samara and then flashes of a battle, them being overrun, and didn't realize that
because he couldn't see. He wouldn't be able to see the battle at Basgiath at all because
it is questionable about why this worked out this way. Yep. Don't have an answer.
Yeah.
Dane actually gets up and is trying to find out who's mastered a tracking rune. He's obviously asking the people that went to Arisha because the other cadets are like, "What the fuck are you talking about?
What's a rune?
What's a rune?
Shut up! You sound like Violet in book 1."
And of course, no one has because all the guys that figured that out are all flyers.
Yeah.
So he's like, damn, and then he basically explains. So Dark Wielders know exactly where we are because according to Barlow's memories, he planted lures all over the college and up and down and up the path to the Vale. So this explains now what that thing was that got them to Reston.
Yeah.
So some lure was put there. And
by Dane's dad? Like, what the fuck?
Well, he's the one who sent. I mean, how could it be anyone else?
Right?
He's the one who sent.
But we know he's friends with Varish.
Right.
We know he's friends with Varish, so maybe they cooked up this plan over email or whatever.
Or before he left.
Wait, no.
This happened before.
No, yeah, but we know that they were, like, when Varish arrives, they're all buddy-buddy.
Yeah.
Colonel Ados and him. I don't know, but I'm just like, what? Why would you have access to one of these?
Yeah, whatever these are, whatever this lure is, how does it lure them? It's like a GPS tracker thing,
Yeah.
Little beacon goes off and they're like, woo, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Apparently he's planted them all over the place. And that's the energy that was picked up when they said, like, when they arrived and said there was some energy. And it's also the energy that was picked up at rest. And it kind of answers all those questions.
Yeah.
Dane wasn't able to see all the lure boxes. So he only knows where some of them are, which is a bummer. At this point, all the infantry cadets show up, and we're told that they're going to be like spending the time trying to hunt down the lure boxes themselves. So obviously Dane's going to mark out where he saw them, you know?
But I just feel like it's not going to make a difference unless they could get all of them. That's the thing, which obviously they don't.
Yeah. Think of these guys that are sitting there that did not leave to Orisha. This is their first probably conversation, real, to honest to God conversation about, okay, good, the venom, the wyvern out there. Like,
Yeah, because didn't some of their dragons continue to lie to them?
yeah, I'm sure I'm sure talks happened. I'm sure they did find out most of the information, but like here suddenly they're being told, okay, like you got to kill the dark wielders and then the venom fall. And I can't imagine what kind of shock you're sitting there. Like at least the guys coming from Risha knew the whole flight that they could be doing this, Yeah. These guys are just like, what? I mean, they're like murmuring and shifting in their seats, and, they're explaining about how the venom will mimic your fighting style. So you need to, like, change things up here, right?
Yes, which is another apparently venom power.
Yeah.
Just so random.
And it's mentioned before as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, there's a bunch of things about venom that we need a little venom book, which there apparently is one, because was it in this next chapter that there was something about fighting venom, but also in a previous chapter there was something about that. Yeah, so there's some venom books that need to get out to everybody.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah, and Sawyer is basically thinking out loud, saying like, I bet you no one's taught them none of these guys left behind were taught how to fight venom, which I'm sure they weren't.
No,
for whatever reason.
Because they were told it would never be a problem.
Yeah.
Well, this will never. Yeah,
so why would you teach them?
God damn it.
Yeah, for sure. First years who haven't manifested are supposed to not fight. General Sorengil comes out and starts giving all the orders, basically. She's saying that, like, we're going to, like, kind of split things up for the best interests of, like, covering Basgiath in the Vale. She makes this comment, but I will not lie to you. And Violet mumbles, well, that's a first.
Yeah, that's funny.
And her sentence is, we are outnumbered. Yeah. We're underpowered. However, the odds may be against us, but the gods are with us. Okay. She's religious. I think they all are. Religion is very much a part of their life, not particularly, I think we talked about that, right? Like it's not particularly, it's just in part of the life living is these gods are around. Yeah.
I wonder if we'll have someone be like, no, fuck the gods.
Yeah. It happens sometimes, huh? So at this point, Violet's thinking like, damn, this is like hopeless. And she tells Andarna to get out, which I don't know why she bothers. Andarna says what she always says. She says, I will be where I'm needed, and it is with you.
Yep.
Yeah, so that doesn't go anywhere. I think she tries again later, but anyways, she's also thinking like, if Taryn and I die, I'm hoping, this might be later again, she's like hoping that Andarna won't die with them, like she can survive, cut them off or whatever, I don't know. Yeah. So people are being signed different places and stuff like that, and then we find out that the Mira is being assigned to Violet's section or squad, and Xaden says, fuck that, and then Mira says, with all due respect to General Sorengil.
Xaden doesn't say that out loud.
No,
probably for the best.
She says, if we were truly to use our signets to their best advantage, I should be paired with you, since I can shield now without the wards, right? Uh-huh. And then she says, Lieutenant Ryerson should be placed in second squad. His signet has been previously proven in battle to complement Cadet Sorengil's. Yeah. And then she says, as much as I would love to be her shield, he gives us the highest probability of keeping our most effective weapon alive, being Violet. She is the most effective weapon, no question, right?
Yeah, and I just loved that Mira was doing this.
And I loved that her mom listened.
Yeah, well, because Mira's bringing up amazing points. Like, she's not being emotional about it. Yeah. She's just being like, you want us to win? This will give us the best chance. And she's not even, like, thinking, like, I mean, she says, I would love to be her shield. Yeah. So she's like, I support what you were trying to do.
But that's not the best.
But that's not the best strategic thing, and we need the best strategic thing.
Yeah, so thank goodness. Thanks, Mira.
Yeah.
And then Riddick is, like, excited, like, oh, good, we get both of you guys, which is actually two of the, like, most powerful writers in one little spot, right?
Definitely.
So then they divide up Basgiath, the Vale, the surrounding areas in this grid, and they show you, like, where everybody is having airspace. They explain that, like, you're just going to cover your airspace. You're not going to go out of it, which is actually smart. Because you find yourself running in all different directions. But if you're just, like, they're out of our, what do you call it? Grid, square, then the next people have to handle it. Even though Violet does in her thing, she's, like, helping the other squares. But she's doing it from her square.
She's not leaving her post. Yeah. And I think that she's allowed. Like, I think it makes sense for her specifically.
Yeah, because there's no wyvern right in front of her, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll get to that. But Violet is like, we should be defending the wardstone, right? And she gets encouraged to say that out loud. But when she brings it up and tries to explain it to her mom just thanks her and then says her opinion is wrong.
I know, and that's all. Pisses me off because then she yields to what Brennan wants, like, right away. Mira got to talk her into, like, changing up who's with Violet, and yet Violet can't convince him off.
Well, Violet literally says here that, like, just again, she is made to feel half her size, basically.
Yeah.
In some words like that. She talks about that. She's just got squashed by her mom. And there's something, you know, about that. Like, her mom swears that she's all for the good of her kids and everything, but she doesn't seem to respect Violet as much as she respects Mira and Brennan.
No. Like, clearly no.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, Violet says it's because she doesn't respect the scribes, but then her mom's like, well, I married a scribe. So what is it? Like, it's just that she sees her as weak. Like, no matter what Violet does at this point, she just has always seen her as weak. And that's the one thing she can never, like...
I think Violet doesn't stand up to her mom enough. And that if she would keep standing up to her mom, then maybe, you know, because Mira and Brennan do. Yeah. Maybe it would change. I don't know.
I mean, she did do that thing where she refused to eat the squash or whatever.
Yeah. That story is great.
Yeah.
Stays up all night, mom's sleeping at the table, and she's happily eating whatever bread she grabbed from the cabinets when her mom fell asleep. Yeah.
So, like, in that way she has.
That's true.
I really think, like, her mom, like, cannot stand weakness. Like, she's just, like, anything that's weak is just bad. And Violet has this condition. And so she's just cannot respect her, even with how powerful she is now.
She might look at her and still see, oh, you're just a scribe.
Yeah.
Playing writer.
Yeah. Which is like, you put me here, you bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so she tells them all, get some sleep while you can, because there's still some time. So they're going to go to sleep. Anyways, they go to sleep. Because we now page break. We have woken up. She didn't get great sleep. They did get some sex. He's dressing her, or he's lacing her up in the back or whatever.
Yeah.
They start getting a little, you know, extra sexy here, and suddenly they're like, they go from like, we don't have time, to holy fuck, 5 minutes, let's do this. And then of course, what happens? What always happens?
Brennan again.
Brennan does this to them all the time.
Brennan really is just like, let's wait until I think they're definitely having sex.
Can you hear the heavy breathing?
None of that on my watch.
Look, it says here, someone knocks, we both freeze, panting hard against each other's mouths. No. And she's like, don't stop. And then you hear Rhiannon say, I know you're in there. Stop ignoring me before this becomes the most awkward situation known to Navarre. And then Violet's like, 5 minutes. She like begs that. And then a deep, familiar voice demands now. And then she thinks, there's no way. Is there?
Yeah, so I thought it was either Brennan or Melgren. So maybe Melgren came, because I honestly didn't believe Brennan would come, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe Melgren got there faster.
I think it would have been more awkward if it was Melgren than Brennan.
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
Like, the most awkward situation in history is just Melgren walking in.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, it would kind of make sense for him to go see Violet as, like, the biggest weapon, maybe to give her strategy advice.
Yeah, it would make sense.
So it would be that out of pocket. But I did think, I was like, it's either Melgren or Brennan, and I don't know. I feel like it's 50-50 here.
Yep. And then we hear, disengage your body parts or whatever you're doing. And see, at that point, they're like getting themselves back together. And she unlocks the door, yanks it open. And not only every second and third year flyer in our squad, but a few of our first years, including Sloane and Brennan.
Yep.
And she just flings herself right in his arms. She's so happy. She says, you came. And then he says, it's so cute. He says, I left you and Mira here to fight this on your own once before, and I'll never do it again. I knew I'd fucked up as soon as you left, but griffins don't fly as quickly as dragons. Tell me where I can be of use. And then... Yeah,
of course. I'm so glad he said, I knew I fucked up as soon as you left. Because, the second you see your sisters go off into battle to their possible death, that probably should be the moment that you realize, okay, I should probably go help them.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, your pride cannot be more important than your family. So I'm glad that he said that, but still so annoying. But he brought a bunch of people, so it's fine.
Yeah. So Mom shows up. She's like, are those flyers?
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing ever seen in Basgiath. There's a bunch of flyers. And then she's like, Brennan? And he's like, I'm not here for you. And just like dismisses her. And then he says, Matthias, Rhiannon, is going to send the flyers to hunt the lures. They're faster on the ground and better with runes anyway. And they obviously, Kat's there. She knows how to do a tracking rune.
Heck yeah.
And Kat's like, we are. And she's like, and we don't abandon our drifts. We'll fight. And then Violet thinks I might not like her, but damn, do I respect her. And I think we all feel the same way.
Yeah.
At this point. We're like, I mean, I don't know if I like you.
Because, like, we can't unknow what we know about her.
Yeah.
Which is bad things. Like, she has weird, bad intentions when it comes to Xaden. She's
she just
super
wants
weird
power.
about Violet. Like,
you
can't really get past that fully, but besides that, it's not like she is Jack. You know, it's not like she's out here just murdering people left and right because it's fun. Like,
or becoming a venom.
Like, she's not that bad of a person.
And there's things you can respect about her. She shows loyalty.
Like her, and
she shows
she
loyalty.
has power.
Yeah. And she's good at things.
She's good at things, but yeah, I'm like, I can't quite get over some of her choices, but fine.
Like I said, we might not like her, but damn do we respect her. Or like Violet says. Okay, good. So yes, it would help for them to do that. And then Violet grabs Brennan and says, have you ever encountered something you can't mend? And he's like, magic? I can't mend a relic or anything. Probably not a rune. And then she's thinking, okay, we just have to hold on long enough for Coda to arrive. Do you know why?
Because they need him, because
they use
the most powerful. Yeah, I said or Andarna. I still think it's good. I mean, even in this next chapter, it's like she fades into the background, or she looks down and she's like, I don't recognize that blue dragon, which I still think is also Andarna. Like, I don't know.
Think about that. But let's get to that, yeah?
Yes.
So then she's like, what about a wardstone? And Brennan's like, eyebrows shoot up. And she says to Rhiannon, we have to guard the chamber. At least let him try. So Rhiannon, it's not Brennan really does this, but Rhiannon turns to General Sorrengail and says, 2nd Squad, Flame Section, 4th Wing, officially request permission to guard the airspace above the wardstone. She's, of course, going to say yes, because Brennan's going to be in the wardstone.
Yeah, okay, like, technically Brennan isn't the one who asks, but it says, like, she's staring at him as she says, like, do whatever you want or whatever. So, whatever. Again, just Violet not being respected.
Which, okay, putting aside the complete disrespect to Violet and the total fucking bitch this mom is.
Yeah.
There's all this talk about you, whatever you did, sending Brennan to his death, whatever that is, whatever that was. You know, which I've always thought is a slightly dramatic statement, but that's okay. We're not discussing that. But here she is 100% trying to save his life. So yeah, I can appreciate that.
She's definitely, like, whenever she sees him, she wants to, I mean, she missed him so much.
Yeah.
They said that she got worse.
Yeah.
You know, after.
That really hurt her.
And, I mean, probably because she was sitting there thinking the same thing. I've sent my son to his death.
You're right. And this could be her making up for it with whatever she can make it, do.
Yeah.
Okay, we are on chapter 61. We do have this excerpt at the top, which is this unaccredited study of the Venin we were mentioning earlier, which says it's a property of the Library of Corden, right?
So this
is one of the books that he sent to Violet, yeah.
Yeah.
And it says, though there is some debate, it is greatly believed that turning Venin heightens one of the Dark Wielder's senses. It is this scholar's belief that the one responsible for the death of King Grethwald developed keener eyesight, for not even the best of His Majesty's royal flyers could see through the darkness the Venin hid within to slay our beloved king. So we're just getting some idea that...
We didn't even know that they had a king that was killed by Venin until now.
We didn't? Okay.
Nope, we just knew there was a queen.
Yeah, that's true. This could be a king more recently, too.
I think this is a king of...
Could be the father of the current queen.
Chromiel. Yeah.
Okay, wow. Thanks for pointing that out.
The current queen.
Yeah, the current queen. It could be her father.
Yes.
Or it could have been her. They don't say anything about her being a widow, so I don't know.
Yeah, it could have been her father that was killed by a Venin.
Okay,
anyways, cool. I just was like,
not important,
this is the first we're hearing about this happening. And also... I'm just waiting for this to be relevant. I can't wait till one of them has, like, perfect hearing or something.
Maybe it's just telling us that, they could be faster. They could do certain things better. They can, they've just heightened senses. I just wonder where this is going to go,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they're all set in their spots where they're supposed to be. They're waiting. Taryn's like, they're coming, she can see the different squads in formation in different places and, over by the veil. They're not like guarding right over the veil because there's tons of unbonded dragons that are also going to be handling that airspace.
Yeah.
But basically around the veil, right? The Sloane and Arik and the other first years are with Brennan. They're like being told to help him with whatever, but mostly it's just to get him out of the way because Brennan's working on the ward.
Yeah.
The wardstone. And then Andarna showed up sometime around here and Violet's thinking like she's refusing to leave.
I know, and she keeps on saying, I'll be where I'm needed, which is a very vague sentiment.
I know.
Not even like, I'll be there for you.
She said the same thing other times, too.
It's not the first time she said this, but it also makes you wonder, like, what kind of, like, does this mean something beyond just the words? Like, does she actually know where she's needed?
Right.
And if so, is where she's needed by the wardstone because she can help bring it back.
Interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So the flyers are still hunting down the boxes. They go over, they kind of have this way, Rebecca has this way of like laying out all the rules in their plan in such a way where each cadet is giving a different part of it. You know what I mean? So it's, so like Zane's like, what's our plan? Like, has everybody got the plan? And Quinn's like, yes. Writer's answer to Rhiannon, Flyer's answer to Bragan. And then Imogen's like, we stay in our sector. If it leaves our airspace, we let someone else take the next sector, take it. And we find out Rhiannon's on dagger duty, which we find out why. We understand better why when they show how it works, right?
Yeah, like what that actually means.
Yeah, it's funny you noted it was uncharacteristically warm this morning because I was like, Brianna's going to mention that. Now, we do find out why.
Yes.
But here, I forgot why. And I was like,
I said,
what is up with
Yeah, I said, what is this about? Like, what global warming ass shit is happening in this book? Okay.
Yeah, because this is not the first time it's mentioned, right?
Yeah, so then it gets mentioned like 2 other times.
Yeah, it says something like for a December morning, it's like not a cool enough breeze or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we do learn. Why. And it makes sense. But that was kind of funny.
Yeah. And so Rhiannon's supposed to be fetching all the daggers that they lose if they hit a venom and it falls out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Sawyer asks the question that we all wanted to know. Any reason you can't just drag them all down with all that shadow power?
Yeah.
And then Xaden goes, other than the reason that I've almost burned out holding 40 of them back in a narrow space like a valley, and there are what looks to be 10 times that amount on an open plain? And then Sawyer's like, right, that.
Well, yeah, I couldn't hold them back. I still think he could drag 1 or 2 to the ground where maybe other people down there could stab.
And we don't know he could be doing that while...
Yeah, he could
There's a lot going on here. But yeah, you're right. Again, you notice the lack of the icy chill in December. So we're noticing all these little things and going, what's happening to the weather?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's she's just saying like the wyvern...
I should have realized what's happening with the weather. Oh wait, there's a weather wielder.
Yeah.
But I think just because of the past, like it just threw me off.
Yeah, no, totally. Violet points out that don't get distracted too much by the wyvern. We need to kill the venom. That's really what we know. And then there's pairs. Everybody's going to have another person. They're going to help each other out, which is also really smart. I do notice, though, in this fight that Xaden one time comes to help her out, but after that, like Rhiannon, well, we get to the end, but it seems like there's a couple other times where other people help her out.
Yeah,
like somehow he's distracted. Yeah, I don't know.
I just feel like if Xaden's like right with her,
they're kind of needed in different places because they're both the most powerful. I'm sure that they're both so constantly in battle that it's hard for either one of them to even notice if the other person needs help.
And I also think they know that their dragons will be paying enough attention that, like, I think Taryn would call out, like, oh, like, we need to help Sigale.
Yeah.
If something was actually happening. Other than that, they're just trusted to, I guess, mostly do it on their own.
Yep, true. So we find out here that Jasenia came. She flew in with Marin. Griffins let other writers fly with them or other people fly with them. She's in the archives. She's trying to figure out what's the difference between Warwick's journal and Lyra's journal, which is great. It's great to have her do this because even though Violet's worried about her, it's like if she was have found the difference and she was in Orisha, it wouldn't have helped anybody, you know? No. So she is putting herself, it's pointed out that she's also like a soldier here, like you can't say you can't put your life at risk when everybody else is putting their life at risk. So this is her way of being a soldier,
Definitely. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be it was good to cover that plot hole.
Yeah.
Basically, of like, well, when we are ready to get the wards up, we do kind of need to know how to actually get them up. How are we supposed to know this?
In the middle of the battle?
I guess we need Jasenia and the book here.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting because Sawyer's answering a lot of these questions about... So you can see that he's like...
Maybe he spent the night
on the planet. Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. She came to him in the morning.
Well, they did
but whatever.
He probably obviously went and saw her, talked to her, found out all about this, which is cute.
Yes.
Although,
I hope...
Is he talking to her that way? Maybe he's learning? I don't know. Somehow he knows it all.
He's gotten better.
He's gotten better. All right. So then we have this conversation with Andarna. Violet says, promise me you'll stay hidden. Andarna says, I can hide. And she backs up. And then Violet says, I blink. It's almost as if she's faded straight into the darkness.
Yeah, and then Taryn gives the explanation, like, oh, we're born for the night. But I'm like, isn't dawn coming?
Well, she's stepping into, like
a shadow.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I just think that this is sketch. I think it's more than just...
It goes with your...
Oh, I'm a black dragon. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it goes all with your other theories. Mm-hmm. And then, so she's like scratching her scales and stuff and says, okay, stay put. Marb, that's Brennan's, is below you, keeping watch over Brennan. If the tide of the battle turns, he'll watch after you, but you have to go. Promise me. And then, of course, she doesn't. She says, I will stand. I will keep watch, but I will not leave you this time.
Yeah. And it says she huffs a breath that scents lightly of sulfur. And then I suddenly remembered she actually can't breathe fire, so how could she possibly breathe fire onto a ward stone? Because so far, she has not gotten to the point of being able to breathe fire yet.
Oh my gosh.
Right? But then what made me think of this is because don't you always smell sulfur right before
yeah.
they fight? So I'm like, oh my God, is she about to hit that stage in this battle where
she's
she
about to learn fire? Yeah.
Because that's the only way. Like, she literally wouldn't be able to activate a ward stone if she can't breathe fire, which so far she can't. But then this line made me think, was this our little hint that she's about to be able to breathe fire starting today?
Nice. Okay, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So just to end this conversation, Violet's like, it was easier when you were a juvenile. And then Andarna says, I didn't listen then either. And she's like, good point. I was like, the minute I saw that, I was like, what are you talking about?
It was a little bit easier. Maybe the rest of it were able to get her kind of to go away.
Yeah, it's for sure. So Taryn says, it's almost time. We get another gust of warm wind blowing, and you're again pointing this out. I just wanted to know what the heck is going on. Yeah. Xaden comes over, he cups the back of her neck and says, I love you. The world does not exist for me beyond you. I couldn't tell you that the last time we flew into a fight, and I should have. And then she says, I love you too. Do me a favor and don't die. I don't want to live without you.
Yeah.
And he says, we don't die today.
Yay.
Yay.
I hope not.
And then I like how he says, even Malik himself couldn't keep me from you.
Oh, so cute.
Maybe Malik really is... He's like, yeah, I'm not going to take... You guys are my favorite... I've been rooting for you guys from the beginning.
Malik is bored. He's shipping now.
He's shipping them. Okay, so then the rain starts, and this is where we find out what's going on. She thinks warmth, rain, the charge in the air, and she says, it's my mother. A slow smile spreads across my face. It's her way of imbuing her favorite weapon, me.
Yes, which I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Not her favorite daughter.
No.
Her favorite weapon.
Yeah.
But still... this is good because
this
is going to help her out with the storm cloud. And
although I will say, like, last time it was raining and she was fighting Yvonne and she couldn't, like, aim her dagger, so I hope she's gotten better at that.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, rain does cause other issues.
And it also makes the flyers all stay on the ground, too. It is causing issues, but you can see from how they used her that it is a good thing.
But there's a chance that, like how... I mean, we don't know how powerful of a weather wielder she is. Maybe it was gonna snow. Like a storm.
Changed it to...
She got it to be able to warm enough to be rain, which will help more the electricity conduction.
Maybe, or maybe she literally caused a storm.
Or maybe she
and all that time. Yeah.
Yeah, because she did have 10 hours, so I'm sure that'd be enough time to create a storm from nothing as well.
Right. So they're all buckling up, or actually she's the only one buckling up. They're all getting on their dragons and getting ready. She sees the wyvern. It says, gods, they're everywhere. They're larger than any riot I've ever seen, flying at multiple altitudes, most equal with our position. The sea of gray wings, straining necks, and gaping jaws devour the sunrise.
Yeah, so the sun is coming up. So Navarra...
That doesn't mean that there's not shadows.
I know.
Okay.
I know there's shadows right now, but I'm just thinking, she's like, don't worry, I'll be able to hide.
Oh,
and I'm saying that day is coming.
Yeah.
And she still seems confident she'll be able to hide the whole time.
I got what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. No, I know that right now it's probably still dim, dark shadows.
Yeah, because we're just now getting the light. Yeah.
I just meant, like, the way she phrased it was like, I'll be able to stay hidden.
Yeah. So she's kind of slowly freaking out here in her mind, but she's like, we just have to kind of keep them off while Brennan heals the wardstone. And obviously, like she said, we need Coda.
Yeah.
So we get this idea that she's got to do something. She's going to, like, they're going to use Violet first. She's got to do it before the wyvern get too close. She's got to do it before they're interacting with the dragons and the riders. Like, so she's, like, getting all ready for something, right? And it says, like, her first strike counts for everything. I lift my hands and open the archive's door to a steady but manageable flow of power.
And this is the first time she's done this. Like, she's opened a crack or she's opened it all the way. This is the first time it was like a steady, like she opens them, but she's not just flinging them open. And I've just been waiting for this. Like, I've been waiting for her to do something in between a teeny amount and all of the amount.
Interesting.
So I was just proud of her. I was like, yay, you did it.
She's got control. Yeah, they have one of these conversations, her and Taryn, which is like she has a thought and he picks it up. But she says, tell Aimser I need Mom to move that cloud. And then Taryn's like, yes. So he's already, like, probably sent the message. So she wants it moved to a certain place so that she can take out a whole bunch of wyvern, right?
Yeah.
She's getting herself in position. She asks Andarna, where are you? Andarna says, hiding like I promised, and then peeks out from a cluster of boulders. So we get her hiding type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I just said I have to be right. Like, with how much is being mentioned, like how much her hiding thing is suddenly coming up just over and over again. I'm like, this is leading to a conclusion. And I feel like it's definitely my conclusion. I don't know what other conclusion there could be, but we'll see. I know how she writes now. Like, the way
you're
that
figuring
she brings things up.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, so she's basically waits until the last minute, and then she like does a whole like lightning strike in the clouds, and then it drops a whole bunch of wyvern down. But the other wyverns have adjusted because they've figured out what's happening, and they've adjusted, so they're not going in her cloud anymore. And she's like, damn.
Yeah.
So they're like dodging the other wyvern that are falling and stuff like that. But now wyverns are crashing all over the place. So she starts to aim and shoot more, right?
Yeah.
And she's doing really good, actually. Her aim is so much better. I mean, you can tell how much she's improved in this whole thing.
Thank God this was a good time when you're completely outnumbered to be able to actually...
Yeah, she says, like, I concentrate on the intent of my fingers just like Felix taught me, drawing them downward with the strike, directing it to the target as though I'm the composer and the lightning is my orchestra.
Yay.
Yeah. So, and she hits the rider in this one.
Yes.
And that knocks out a whole bunch of wyvern, which is amazing. But now they've officially launched into the airspaces of the different squads. So now it's not just her anymore. Now everybody's fighting.
Yeah.
And this is where Taryn's like, okay, now you have to focus on our sector. That's what he says, but later she doesn't, but that's okay. So now they're fighting. Now we've just got a lot of fighting, ripping throats out, everybody kind of mentioning everybody doing different things and stuff. There is this mention here, which you noted, that like the riderless wyvern drops its jaw and breathes out a stream of green fire.
Right, and then it says Taryn rolls left, narrowly missing the blaze. So it's Taryn who dodges this flame. And now you could think, well, maybe it would have hit Violet if you didn't dodge. But it just seemed...
There's got to be a difference between the blue fire and the green fire. It makes no sense to otherwise have two different colors of fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Fires, yeah.
Yeah.
So, she's seeing through wyvern. They're like trying to get through lower altitude. And she can't really hit them from where she is without the other people being around or getting hurt or whatever. So Taryn like drops hundreds of feet in seconds, right? And strikes like right onto the wyvern,
Yeah.
So we get a lot of different things like this happening and stuff. They almost get like chomped on by a wyvern, but then Xaden manages to grab the wyvern in some sort of like shadow lasso.
Yeah.
And pull him off. So, and then Taryn's like, so Gale has claimed that one. We'll have to find our own, which I thought was funny.
Yes.
But they do mention here again, they've only sent the first wave. There's still a bunch of wyvern just hanging back watching, which is just weird, right?
Yes. And
like, why not hit them all at once if you're trying to take them out?
I know. And I mean, Taryn says it's like probably to probe for weaknesses. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe something else.
Yeah. When you were reading this earlier, it said something like she was worried like not everyone was going to live. Did you ever think at any point like, here, we might lose people?
I still think Sawyer might die.
Yeah, I was just wondering. I realized that you didn't.
Or Imogen, Imogen, Quinn, or Sawyer. I think are on the list of people in her squad who might die.
Because I was just wondering, like, I remember being so worried here when it says I catch a glimpse of Riddick as they spiral past, and then Imogen like on their heels, and she's thinking Riddick, and then Taryn's like, we need to focus on our own mission. Like,
I just can't fathom Riddick dying. He's just not allowed to die, so he's just not going to die. So I'm not worried about him. It's gonna be fine.
I remember being worried at that point. But okay, good. Fierge is locked in close combat with a green fire. A blast of blue fire erupts from his mouth. Make that a blue fire. So I don't know why she originally thought it was a green fire, but now
maybe it's just trying to indicate to us that you can't tell the difference until they breathe the fire. Yeah.
And it says that Rhiannon narrowly misses the fire stream by leaping from Fierge's back to Kruth. So it sounds like it still hit Fierge, the blue stream.
Yeah.
Right?
So yes.
Again, not a green stream.
Oh, yeah. A great point. I was like wondering, am I remembering it right that the blue fire doesn't hurt the dragons? Yes.
That's crazy that in that moment, split second, when the fire is coming toward her, she jumps off of her dragon's back onto Kruth's. That's crazy.
I know. That's some good battle instincts right there.
Yeah, I mean, she jumps off her back later too. Like, she's like good at that, man.
Yeah, it's something that Violet can't quite do. So it's cool to see someone else do it.
Exactly. So yeah, so we've got more back and forth on this, handling different, like helping these people who are being attacked by wyverns, and then helping these and stuff like that. So he does see like the other sector, and there's more griffins. So this is where she starts like killing griffins in the other sectors because maybe they're not right in front of her, or whatever's happening,
Yeah, or just the fact that she can't, like, she could no longer wield in her sector because everyone was too engaged.
Yeah. Taryn's a little bit worried about her. He says that she's tired, and Violet's like, fuck exhaustion. People are dying.
Yeah.
And Taryn's letting her, so she must not be too close to burnout, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I did like this line. I no longer feel like I direct the storm. I am the storm. That was pretty sick.
Where's that?
right before Terrence.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. She's just, I mean, she's burning up. She feels it inside and stuff. But yeah, she is literally just the storm.
Yeah.
And she's so hot that she like takes her jacket off. Suddenly she sees a whole group of them coming right at her and Taryn because they've been up at a higher altitude, like shooting down Wyvern, because that's easier than obviously doing it from a lower altitude.
Yeah.
So they've kind of like put a big target on their back. So 3 Venin on this assassination mission coming straight at her. It says like blue tunics standing out in stark contrast to the gray, bleary-eyed Wyvern they ride. And I was wondering why they were bleary-eyed. Is it just another sign of being controlled and they're just always bleary-eyed? I don't know.
Maybe they're sleepy.
Yeah, they just got woken up from their nap.
They flew 10 hours. I don't know.
Because like, why else? She wrote bleary-eyed. Why would she write bleary-eyed? Like, you don't
maybe
just
they're
write
all
that.
like that. Like maybe it's just a way to say like they don't seem like normal creatures who are aware like a.
Yeah, they're just these like animatronics, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I know, it's weird. I just thought, again, Rebecca's so specific with what words she uses. I was just like, what was that supposed to mean? But
yeah.
Anyways, I love this. She breaks down the 10 seconds that she says it's going to take for these guys to get to her. And it's so cool. She's like, 1, Riddick waves his hand holding a broken dagger. And she realizes that he's waving it at Rhiannon because they suddenly disappear out of his hands, right? 2, snapping my head to the left, I find the pieces already in Rhiannon's hand, right? As Fearge dives down to Sawyer. 3, Fearge flies alongside and like toss the pieces to Sawyer. 4, Sawyer catches them. Thank goodness. 5, and then it says Sigale rises to take Fearge's place. So they cover that spot, right? And then 6, she thinks to herself, I have to breathe or I'll burn out. And she's like, I can't, I have to get past the fatigue because everyone I love is on this field, right?
Yeah.
Which is true. There's everyone, including Jasenia, is on this field.
Basically. I mean, she's inside. But but they're all here.
Yeah. 7, it says, she looks down and she sees, and this is okay. Let's get back to this because it'll go off a little bit. Okay. But she sees Marb and a blue club tail that she doesn't recognize and a vague shape she hopes is Andarna, but then also notices that the dagger is out of Sawyer's hand and is now again in Rhiannon's hand. 8, they get this.
Because Sawyer can put it back together because he's
got the metal power. So he fixed the broken dagger. Rhiannon took it back, right?
Yeah.
8, she gets this communication that Dajalair is frustrated by the unflyable conditions. The 9-second, she explains, well, they're more efficient guarding the courtyard and handling the wounded or whatever. And then the dagger changes hands. Riddick is once again armed in that 10, right? And it's basically just showing like how fast these guys are working together.
Yes.
And then we get this, Taryn says, you're beginning to think like, and then she thinks like Brennan. And Sigale says, like Taryn.
Did you think Taryn was going to say you're starting to think like me?
I thought he was going to say it. You're starting to think like Brennan. And Sigale's like...
Yeah, I kind of think that too.
Yeah. But that's cute. That's a nice compliment from her.
Yes, it is. So, back to this blue club tail that she doesn't recognize, and then a vague shape. Couldn't the vague shape be Dodgelair? Because she can't really see. She said she can't really see the... Does she say that?
I don't know. I thought Dodgelair was still out looking for lures unless they finish that.
No, because it says that they're guarding the courtyard.
Well, that it says they're more efficient guarding the courtyard.
There'll be a liability up here, not an asset.
Yeah. But I don't know if they've come back yet. I don't know if that's just... I'm not sure about that. But yeah, you're saying the blue club tail. You're wondering if she's the blue club tail.
A vague shape could be anything. It just says vague shape she thinks is Andarna or hopes is Andarna. But then your club tail she doesn't recognize.
Then you're thinking she can shape shift and change her tail at the same time.
I don't know anything, okay?
But that's a very interesting idea.
But I just wonder who, like, why is there a blue club tail that she doesn't recognize?
I know.
Down in her
again, seems weird.
Because she knows all of her people's...
Who's down there that would have...
Sloane and Eric are, but she knows she would recognize.
100%
and doesn't Ark have a blue dragon? But she wouldn't be like, oh, I don't know who that is. She'd be like, that's...
Yeah, no, it's a very suspicious thing, so I get it.
Yeah, but yeah, the club tail thing did throw me off. Because I was like, well, we know she doesn't have a club tail. She has a dagger tail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, but I don't know. I'm just looking out for this.
Right. Right at this point, they get engaged in battle because, remember, it was 10 seconds. She was thinking, we have 10 seconds until they're on us. And she goes through what gets done in that 10 seconds, which was so much stuff got done in that 10 seconds, right? But now they're there.
Yes.
So Taryn is now engaged in battle. She sees a flash of blue, which is like a Venin, basically jumping on Taryn, and she's trying to unbuckle herself. She's trying to get Taryn to like level out. And he's like, no, stay in your saddle. Well, she can't unbuckle herself. No matter how hard she tries. And this venom has like...
It's like stuck.
The venom has landed on his head. It's holding onto one of his horns, right? And it says his eerie red-rimmed eyes never leaving mine during the maneuver or the seconds after when we fall into a rapid descent, right? And then it says no spider-webbed veins. He's just an ASIM, okay? And then this Dark Wielder says, you're the one he wants.
Right? This he who is...
Yep. She says you're sage, which she doesn't ever answer.
I know, he doesn't say yes. He just says you'll meet them all soon enough, which is why I was like...
Them, yeah.
Like, is this like the Venom leadership? Is this some twist that we're waiting for? Who knows?
Right. And they're still falling quite rapidly, and she's still stuck, but she manages to throw her dagger, and unfortunately, the venom catches it. So now the venom's coming towards her with a dagger.
Yeah, not good.
And so suddenly, at the very end of this chapter, we end with this line, a green blur comes at us from the right. We both look as Rhiannon jumps from fears to Taryn, landing in front of my saddle in a crouch.
Yeah, like, this is a moment where I'm like, where is Xaden, honestly? But it's fine. It's fine. I'm happy that Rhiannon's coming to be a bad bitch and save her, but...
Yeah, but Violet's probably not going to be happy. Because the last time someone jumped on a dragon to help her, it was... When Liam died... He did end up on her dragon, but I think that was because he literally, in the crash of like his dragon and the wyvern, he flew off. I can't remember.
Yeah, I feel like someone did end up on her dragon at Reston, and I think it was probably Liam, but I don't remember enough either.
Well, anyways, we end there, which is just leaving us in the middle of a battle.
Yeah.
With not all the answers.
No.
Exciting.
I can't wait.
Yes.
We're so close to the end, I can't wait. Like, I know it's going to end, I'm probably going to just want to start Onyx Storm right away, but I'm also excited to go through our notes everything about this book.
Yeah, I know. I've been taking notes. But we have 2 more episodes, then we'll be done.
Wow.
I know.
That's exciting. Thanks for listening, everyone. We have a Discord, just another reminder. It's not something you pay for. It's just an app or a web browser, and it's just like a group chat with all of us. So
yeah, today alone we had 3 new people join us. It was great.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
So come join us there. There's a spoiler channel where you can talk about all your theories, and then I'm sure we'll ask for inspiration of what theories we should talk about.
Yeah, when we get to that point. Yeah.
And then there's the spoiler free channel that has me in it. So make sure you know what channel you're in.
Yeah. Don't say anything
when you're talking. We also have an Instagram and a Threads, which is another good way to contact us. Well, Kendra. You can find it at First Wing Pod.
Yes. Also, if you ever like are, telling other people about this and anybody's asking, we are now on YouTube. I did finally set that up. So we are now on YouTube. You can't see, it's not video, but the audio is all on YouTube and also on YouTube Music. So
good. Yeah. Another way to, I know that not everyone has Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Right. Yeah, they don't.
Or, I mean, there's so many apps out there. Podbeam, iHeartRadio, probably others. Anyways, but yes, that's good. We also have a way for you to rate and review our podcast, which is specifically on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. On Spotify, you can rate us and give us a comment style review. Mm-hmm. Also, if you're on Spotify, I sometimes do polls. Like a few episodes ago, it's probably still active right now. You could go back 2 episodes ago. There was a poll about how do you feel about Xaden not telling Violet his secret. So you should check out Spotify sometimes because we do polls there.
Yeah.
We read our reviews on the podcast, and now that we have found our missing reviews, we have another one this week.
Yay, I'm so glad we found them. Someone had written to me and said, I reviewed your podcast the other day, and I'm like, there's no review. And I was like, we were really worried about it, so.
Yes, and we found her specifically.
Right, which is coming right now. So this is from user Tiny Titan 29. And it says, I have been listening to this nonstop. I love hearing these 2 vent and theorize back and forth, especially about how bad or not bad Dane is. I love that. Yes. I've been wanting to reread these books, but haven't had the time, and this is the perfect fill. And then she also mentions, for the creators, good job on all of your predictions, Brianna, and thank you, ladies, for doing this for fun. It helps me get all my chores done. I understand that. I like to listen during chores. Also, if you guys haven't read Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson yet, you should. I would love to listen to you guys theorize those books, which is cool fun. Because I love the Mistborn books.
and I haven't read them.
Yeah. We're not sure exactly where we're going after this. I mean, hopefully the TV show is going to come out and then we'll have all of that
So
fun
much
stuff
more
do.
things to complain about, probably. I mean, every time a TV show comes out.
Yeah, there's no way not to. We know this.
But I've learned how to love it despite it being not following the books perfectly.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, great. So thanks everyone who has left a review. Sorry that we missed them for a few weeks, but we have a better way of finding them, so...
We love your review. We sit here and we stare at each other and talk to this black microphone in front of us. And when you leave us a review or a comment on any of our Spotify things and say things or come on Discord and write, you're letting us know that you're out there and that you, are as interested in this as we are. So we appreciate that.
We do. Okay, great. Next episode, we will cover chapters 62 and 63.
Join us next time, writers.
Bye.
Bye.